iGinity is a proud sponsor of I Am Angus. For more information, visit iGinity.com.
There's some misunderstanding between city and country that makes absolutely no sense. The kids in school, they say the silliest things, like milk comes out of a carton. You've heard this 100 times before. Meat comes out of a plastic bag. Without the understanding of how important the food producers is, we'll never get anywhere. We'll just get worse and worse every year. The disconnect is extraordinary. I think it's because life is so fast and so easy and so electronic and so digitized that the reality of a cow and calf being built for food, being grown for food, is horrifying to these gentle folk in town. I think their delicate sensibilities are offended by reality. And without that reality and the realization that this is necessary for human survival, I think that disconnect is going to get even more awful. I was born in Birmingham, England in 1941. It was World War II, and the town I lived in was a city of 2 million people, mostly consumptive. They all died coughing in their 40s. It was the most polluted city in Europe. When I was 15, my headmistress wrote to my parents and said, "Caroline is uneducable, please remove her from school." So they did, and they sent me to typing school. And when I was 17, they got terribly drunk one night and saw beautiful posters of Canada. And they said, "How would you like to go to Canada?" And I said, "Fine." 2 weeks later, I had a passport, $50 in my pocket, and a cardboard suitcase, and I was on a boat to Montreal. I stayed there about 6 months and came into the United States and fell in love. The reason I love America is I was a typist with 25 words a minute and 90 words a minute shorthand, and I became managing editor of Car and Driver, which was a million circulation in New York City, and they allowed me to do it because they believed I could. Now, when you come to a country like America with open arms and people who are so good, usually to each other, you feel like you're blessed to be allowed on this part of the planet. Because I had a little background in publishing in New York, I got a job with Nevada magazine and published that for 10 years. And when I quit that, some cowboys asked me to put together a brochure to send to Congress to tell people that ranchers are the good guys. And I said, I can do that if you tell me where to go. And I learned so much on that trip. And I met a lot of really good people who were being affected by things that made no sense. And I'm talking about endangered species and wetlands, takings, urban encroachment, environmental innocence. And I was a left-wing liberal from New York City. And it was shocking to me to find out that just about everything I believed was wrong. In the 21 years I've been involved with ranching, it used to be mostly horseback outfits out here. They used to have a cavy of maybe 50 to 120 head of horses on one good desert ranch. Now they're getting smaller, they're being cut up, they're being taken by people who have an enormous amount of money who can buy a ranch from a family that can't make it out in the desert anymore. And they can buy it, and then what they do with the ranch, which is a productive, food-producing, beautiful piece of property, now becomes a playground for people who just want to get out there and do nothing and produce nothing and benefit nobody. Hopefully the country won't go down so far as to believe these people are irrelevant. If you take the cowboy out of society, you're going to lose people with integrity and honor and heart and love for country. That's what you're going to lose. You're going to lose the best of America. And I've lived in bad places, in bad towns, and there is nothing better than this. Nothing.